If you're looking to dodgeball and chill, there's an after party at Jolly G's. Plenty of single dodgeballers will be there, as they told me to mention.
You know, just going through this tournament, I could list off the number of single players here, and there's a lot. Actually, most notably, I would say, would be Lindsay Torres, who I guess is not Torres anymore.
Yeah, well.
There was, I don't know, she's always used to be like a husband and wife team, but now she's out here on her own. See who else we got there notably. Yeah, Celine Cote.
What about Jordan Ansu?
Jordan Ansu, also eligible bachelor.
Very eligible, if you like that ginger flavor.
I do appreciate that we both have the same thought. Kimberly Shesterniak, Randy Fife. I'm just glancing around the gym right now.
Have you ever considered getting into the matchmaking business?
Yeah, I run a dodgeball league.
Right.
Yes,
but
that's essentially what it is.
But like, could you monetize that somehow?
I've tried to organize a dodgeball singles night many times.
Yep.
And it always comes down to we find it difficult to find like a drinking establishment as a partner that will do it and actually like sponsor the event. Generally, they just want us to come there, but they don't want to give us anything in return.
Right.
So like I was trying to find like an event promoter, or a club promoter, and we just haven't been able to connect on that level. But if you're out there listening and you want to run a dodgeball singles event, hit me up. Actually, the other reason why this all floundered is because in 2016, I found myself a partner.
Yeah.
So when I started the league, I was very aggressively single, and I was super down to organize a singles night. I thought it'd be a ton of fun, be a great way to meet some people. And then, you know, I found somebody, and then it just kind of lost interest, and nobody else seemed interested in picking up the torch there.
And it's risky, right? If you
Is it?
bring two people together and things go sideways, then you'll always be thought of as the person that introduced.
Well, that's the thing, is I wouldn't be introducing people. What I would be doing is just organizing the event.
Don McKenzie very angry about the door being open.
Yeah.
We're trying to breathe in here. But we have seen a ball fly out of the gym earlier.
Has been closed.
Oh.
I looked at your announcement.
So we have two of our commentary team on this near court. One of them just getting hit out
Carly
while not
Pichet.
paying attention.
And Emily Clark.
Doing a great job.
Not really recognizing anybody on the other side of this court. I'm wondering how they heard about this event. Oh, and Brent Pichet with the catch. Actually, it surprised me. I saw him outside smoking, and
oh yeah, there's
I didn't know that young people still smoke.
Yeah,
is that a thing?
I
Smoking's still a thing? Is that a thing people do?
In a weird sort of millennial way, it might be cool again to smoke. Sort of ironically.
Oh, he's not a millennial. Are you kidding me? He's like 10 years too young to be a millennial.
What's younger than a millennial?
Gen Z, I think it is.
The doomed generation.
No, actually, millennials are being known as doomers.
They're the doomers.
Yeah, well, actually, sorry, slightly younger than millennials is the doomers, but also Gen Z technically. We're just getting called doomers because, you know, the environment is collapsing and the generations before us are unwilling to affect any change. And to an extent, we just keep going about our lives.
It's kind of, yeah. It's
I bought an electric car. I can absolve myself of all responsibility.
You're good. Your carbon footprint is very small.
Yeah, but I mean, somebody who owns no car has a smaller footprint than me.
Like
so
me.
Yeah, exactly. So I can't really be smug.
And I'm a vegetarian, so my carbon footprint is pretty much non-existent.
Yep, I do my best to choose vegetarian options, but I'm not above eating meat if that's what's available, because I'm lazy. That's the long and the short of it. All right, they're lined back up. Referee waiting for them all to get in.
Do we know what these teams are called?
Yes, dodgeball and chill, and that's
the
what
near
she
court.
said.
And player stepping out of bounds, not being caught by the ref, but these seem like very new players on this near court.
Well, that's what the recreational division is for. Recreational in this tournament used to be the biggest part of the event. And now I noticed that it was rather hard to fill the slots they had for rec.
Almost with the ricochet.
And unfortunate double out there. The
I always
referee,
feel,
Ronald Nerlin,
yeah.
explaining it.
You feel bad as a ref when you're reffing a team that clearly doesn't know most of the rules.
Yeah, but that's why they're playing in the game with the referee, so that you can explain it to them so they don't have to read it up in advance.
And they're usually very reasonable about it.
Oh, yeah, these guys are being very friendly about it. I'm noticing, too, a lot of noodle arms here. That last volley of throws all seem to have like an arc to them.
Yes.
Just to make it across the court. Sometimes you have to let it go up a little bit before it goes down if your arm's really blown out.
Yeah, and again, if your arm is sore, it's not going to become unsore.
Yeah.
And you should always listen to your body in any sport.
Yep. Don't play through pain.
We've had a few broken arms over the years.
Yes.
No one wants to see that.
In this very community center is where Malik Coleman ended his dodgeball career.
I was right behind it. It looked really gross.
Actually, the very, very first game of Dodgeball Winnipeg League, the first one on a Monday night in 2016.
Yeah.
A guy who was just coming off of a baseball tournament who just propped himself up on painkillers, spiral fractured his own arm just by throwing.
Awful.
The very first game we ever run.
Did you think you'd gotten to the wrong business?
No, I thought that, like, what the heck is this guy doing coming here after a baseball tournament if he needs to be on painkillers to play?
I find, not to generalize, but that's kind of a man thing, not taking care of yourself properly and just relying on luck to.
Yeah, actually, why am I blanking on his name? James. Do you remember James? He was a nerdy guy, played a lot of dodgeball, always played with like Garnet Meaches, all those fun folks.
Yeah.
He was a referee for a while. I don't remember his last name. He threw his elbow out at the industry dodgeball tournament in 2014. And I mean, like, I saw him walking out and his one elbow was just dangling there 2 inches longer than the other one because the elbow like came apart.
And then you have to go and live the rest of your life with a
bunk elbow? Yeah.
With a bunk wing.
Yeah, so what happened there actually was same thing. His arm was really sore, but he had paid a bunch of money to be in the tournament, so he took a bunch of painkillers, and then it just disconnected.
I think the real lesson here is, like, take it easy with the painkillers. That's a story that
Take the painkillers after the event.
Right.
Right, if you need them to make it through the event, you should stop playing.
Yes.
That's the long and the short of it. Don't take muscle relaxants until it's the end of the day and you can just relax because it allows you to put yourself into positions where you might actually damage something.
Unfortunate ricochet there.
Yeah.
But they seem to be having fun with it.
Yeah, a teammate just being like, just beefing, just like, yo, why you hit me? That ball hits the floor. McKenzie goes for the catch and misses.
So it's 3-0 for is that Dodgeball and Chill on the far court?
I believe this is That's What She Said.
Yes.
The greatest joke of all time.
Right.
It turns anything into a joke, and then people have to remember what you said, so it also proves that they were listening.
Yeah. Always works.
And it shows that you were listening. And
all
at the
6
end of the
balls
day,
on the far court now.
Don't we all just want someone who listens?
And if you're listening to the stream, just remember that you can donate to the Growing Opportunities International. That's what this tournament is in aid of. There's a box on the stream chat.
Growing Opportunities International is, you want to explain to the fun folks at home what they're donating to exactly?
So this was an organization started by Amanda First to help communities in East Africa with startup businesses. Also, they do a lot of work with kids, recreational sports. Um, she's always taking donations for gently used sports equipment. I believe they built a community center last year in Kenya. So a great cause.
Yeah. So that's some real phenomenal work there. After the 2018 Nationals in Winnipeg, Dodgeball Canada donated a lot of the equipment that was here in Winnipeg to Amanda First to take with her to Africa.
Tanzania, I believe, they started a dodgeball league.
Yeah,
and they took to it immediately.
Yeah, and there's the Africa Cup. Clark there feeling out her opponent. The opponent gets the block. So here's somebody who's new to throwing. So if you're watching this and you wanted to know, like, let's say maybe you throw like her and you want like some ideas on technique. First of all, go perpendicular to your target. So what I would recommend to her as a right-handed thrower would be to face the right side. Then step forward with your left foot, and then just twist with your body and finish with your wrist.
So much of it is in the lower body.
Your arm doesn't create strength, but it can inherit it.
Right.
So you can create like momentum from other muscle groups, and then your arm will just finish in the whipping motion. But if you just throw from your arm, you're actually going to surprisingly not get a lot of strength from it.
And again, good form will prevent injury.
Yes.
More often than not.
Not only will it give you more power, it will you'll feel better the next day, and you're unlikely to damage yourself in new and unusual ways.
I know I've focused more on what my lower body's doing while throwing, and I no longer have much shoulder pain. Used to have some rotator cuff issues.
Yeah, we've all had some level of. Actually, I've never had a rotator cuff problem, but I threw sidearm for a long time to the point where I actually threw out my elbow, throwing for almost 5 minutes straight in a one-on-one situation in wall ball, and I just had to beam it as hard as I could because I was against a very talented catcher.
Yep.
And I had pain for 8-10 months afterwards.
Yeah, the thing is, you got to think about your day-to-day life, and with elbow problems, with a bad rotator cuff, you need your rotator cuff for every darn thing you do with your arm.
So Kaylee Krochak, my partner and top-level dodgeball player, threw out her rotator cuff when she was 19 years old tree planting. And so she has to do physio exercises pretty much every night, just in order to get rid of the pain that would otherwise prevent her from throwing.
And that's for the rest of her life, I imagine.
Yeah. You have to live in your body for the rest of your life. That is the unfortunate part about the meat. The meat is the weak part.
Yeah.
If this was like altered carbon or whatever and we could just like get a new body, for sure, just go hard, do whatever you got to do, and then just transplant into another body.
Mackenzie with the snag there, very nonchalant, gives the thumbs up.
Don McKenzie actually just adopted his first kitten.
Did he?
Yeah, him and his wife, Katie, they adopted a very adorable kitten that likes to sit on his shoulders, so I am just incredibly jealous.
I don't really want to put my actual feelings about cats out on the internet.
Now, why do you think the internet would have a problem with you not liking
cats? The internet
cats?
loves cats, and I've had bad experiences with cats.
That's fair. I mean, it happens.
One attacked me at 8 years old.
Oh, yeah?
It was just
And
walking
you didn't
to the
fight back?
bathroom. I did fight back. I kicked it down the stairs, and my sister cried. And I've never. I yelled back, "I'm bleeding through my pajamas." She had no sympathy for me, just the cat.
Oh, that's devastating for an 8-year-old. But you know what? Good on you for not just taking it. If you had said you didn't fight back, I was going to say, well, that's why you're scared of them. But hey, good on you for doing it. I will admit that when I was knocking doors for Shaw Cable,
Yep.
one time I was walking up to a house and I heard somebody open the door and say, "It's the mailman, get him, boy." And they just like sick this Pomeranian at me. This tiny little dog came like, yip, 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 yip,
Yep.
yip.
Those,
And
those are the ones you got to watch out for.
so I didn't kick the dog. I'm
Right.
just going to preface that. I put the side of my foot up against it and I launched it away from me. There was no impact, but I moved that dog across the yard so that I could leave the yard without getting bit. So don't worry, you're not the only
Yeah.
person here whose foot has impacted an animal.
It was a natural reaction.
Well, yeah. Well,
being
I
attacked.
didn't want to get bit, but I also didn't want to kick the dog, so I just put my foot up against the side of it and I just launched it across the yard.
Ben popping it up. Oh.
That was on
Team-
Midwinter. I'll never forget that. Midwinter Avenue in Transcona, or Elmwood, or wherever that is. Yeah, I just thought, like, if you want a guard dog, something bigger than a Pomeranian. Oh, and Pichet lines
Oh,
out.
Unfortunate.
Sorry,
there.
Brent Pichet. I believe that's the younger brother of Carly Pichet. Carly Pichet, the partner of Dustin Schellenberg, who was just calling a play to her. Dustin Schellenberg, also known as Shelly.
Is he?
No, but he
Um,
should be.
Well, we had a
Nice
former teammate
shot
of mine, David Schellenberg, was known as Shelly.
Who's David Schellenberg?
He played with us on Thursday nights until he broke his ankle and took it like a champ. Sat down on the court, put his hand up, said, "I think my ankle's broken," and has not played since.
How long ago was that?
It must be like 3 years ago.
Oh, that's a while. Do you recall? Sorry. Well, speaking of bad ankles, how long has it been since Ryan McVeigh has played? Probably at least a year.
I think it was at this tournament he last played. Oh, Pichet
Yeah,
with the
he used to
catch.
be a real staple of the competitive community. He had a real solid throw. I remember he would always end up in a position where like his leg was fully parallel to the ground. You know what I mean?
Yes.
Yeah, like his follow through was like just huge.
Definitely didn't want to get too close to that follow through. You might get kicked in the face.
Yeah, Ryan McVeigh. He also worked for was it Mosma? Was that the name of it? Like music something of Manitoba.
Yep. He's a audio engineer, teacher, and one of my closest friends. Although,
If you're watching this, hi Ryan.
Hi, Ryan. But I should say Natasha O'Reilly told me that she was my best friend, and I'm supposed to mention it on the stream. So